Boom! Good evening, afternoon. Excuse me, late afternoon.
You're ready, he's ready for bed already.
I'm ready to take a nap. I have now taken a nap. Anyway, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Sports Lab Podcast. I am Coach Cook. This is E-Bass, and we are in the lab.
We're here. Finally.
We
love coming here and just talking sports nonsense.
It's crazy stuff.
Really, that's what it is.
That's all.
Right. We're just taking what they give us, and we are just exposing them of their, script writing, maybe, or I
did
know.
call it a script.
You did.
It is entertainment. It's entertainment.
It's entertainment.
That's what they say. NBA is entertainment. NFL is entertainment.
It's all entertainment.
It's built to entertain people like yourself and all the rest of them.
And it does entertain.
If
you like that kind of thing.
If that's your lane.
Yeah.
Right? But for a few of us that are what's the word I'm looking for? Unmoved by the antics, unwavered by the script writing. Script writing.
Yeah.
You can't move us with that. The ones that use the third eye.
Yeah. He's got 3 eyes. You got probably 4 or 5 eyes.
I got all kind of eyes.
He's looking all over the place.
You cannot fool me.
You can't fool Coach Cook with a K.
Boom. So,
do it.
how was the week for you, man? What was going on?
Well, let's see. The week.
Tell them about it. Talk to us. Oh, you know what? Forgive me. Hey, Penny, if you're out there, can you let us know if the spelling is correct, if the audio is live, if the lighting is projecting professionally? Yes. Somebody out there, talk to us. Let us know that we're doing what we need to do. Sorry about that, E. Go ahead,
man. That's okay. No, I mean, you got to do this stuff. My week, it was good. I worked a lot. Nothing really memorable sticks out in my mind. I watched a lot of basketball and I watched a lot of sports stuff over the week, and that's kind of what I did for my evenings to kind of wind down. I just
sat back and enjoy some sports, huh?
Dove right in and just because I guess that's what I enjoy doing, really.
There's nothing
Besides
wrong with
spending, I spend a lot of time with my daughter, my 3-year-old. So she's always fun to be around.
Is that little voice I be hearing on the text message? Yes, she is. She's full of energy,
lively,
man.
Full of energy.
Always got something to say.
Turning me into a young man again.
Okay.
So right. I gotta stay active. I gotta keep myself physically fit.
That's
to
nothing.
Keep up with my 3-year-old. Man.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, man. You gotta keep on top of it. That helps you. That motivates you to do that, right? Yes.
It does. I mean, I've always been into that anyway.
Fitness
and whatnot. But
so what are you, like a jogger, a bike rider? I see you like a good mountain.
I used to be a mountain biker.
Okay.
I do have a mountain bike. I haven't done that very often. I'm more into the trail runs. I love trail running.
You love trail run, okay.
And hiking, and it's summertime, so probably get back into swimming again.
That's always fun.
Yeah. And it's also fun to compete too. Like if you're into it, if anybody out there who's into like being physically active, don't just do it for yourself. I mean, do it for yourself, but make it a competition with other people. So go to events. They're fun. There's other people that are involved in it that are with you.
Is there still competition?
Absolutely.
Is there still?
They're all over the valley.
Is there?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, they're all over the valley. It's fun. So get involved. Don't just go to the gym, do your workout, come home, sit on the couch, watch TV. Go to the gym, get yourself physically fit. You don't even have to go to the gym, really. I hate going to the gym. I'd rather be outside.
Okay.
But unfortunately, that's where the weights are.
Right.
I could do it in my house, but
you can order some things on TikTok and all over the place, right?
Yeah.
You can get the workout in there.
Yeah.
So, but I guess the bottom line you're trying to say is get out there and get active. There's so much going on in the world today, ladies and gentlemen. There's no need to stay in the house.
Nope.
And I don't think that costs too much, right? Just get a water bottle and
it doesn't.
Nice trail.
Doesn't cost anything.
Go to work, right?
Get some good running shoes.
Okay.
And you're off. Yeah. What about you? How was your week?
They dogged me out. Everybody down there at the X, man.
And why is that?
Because
I don't understand the logic. Why would they dog you out?
Well, it wasn't the fact that they dogged me out. It's just they didn't have too much to say to me after game 5, which was on Thursday night.
Because I remember what Go ahead. What?
Well, game four, which was on Monday night, I'm still surprised about that. I don't know why that bothers me that they had a basketball game, championship game on a Monday night. Who's at home on a Monday night watching basketball? Anyway, I predicted that Indiana was going to take that game Monday night, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, you remember that. You recalled that. You texted me and told me. So, boom, moving forward, Thursday, oh, man, they was lit. Shout out to everybody, LD, Glenn, Lobato, all those cats out there was, you know what I'm saying? At that time, it was like it was over with, right?
Yeah.
Leading into game 5 on Thursday night.
Right. Game 6.
Game 6, excuse me.
Yeah,
game 6.
Yeah.
Game 6 on Thursday night. And when it didn't turn out in their favor, man, it was a ghost town. It wasn't.
So Monday didn't turn out in your favor.
No.
And you're thinking, wow, the script just isn't. It's not what I thought. The script.
That's not
Who's writing the script?
No, absolutely not.
Right?
I just miscalled that one. That's all that was.
Okay, just a simple mistake.
That's all it was.
Okay, so then game 6 comes in, Indiana wins. So now we got game 7.
And in game 6, I reiterated that I wanted Indiana to do it again, and they did it again that Thursday night game.
They did win. Yeah,
they did win.
They did.
Your MVP. Side note, set a record that game. The most turnovers.
He did have a lot of turnovers.
The most turnover in the first quarter during a championship game.
How many turnovers did he have?
8. Whew. He gave up the ball 8 times.
And he only scored 21, I think.
21 points.
Yeah.
21
he was
points.
not MVP material, but that happens. Come on.
He had breakdowns.
They got bad games.
Yeah.
They're tired.
Tired.
Can you imagine, though, being an NBA player and playing all these games? It's crazy. It's insane. In fact,
what else do you do? What else do you have to do besides play basketball? Besides keeping yourself in check? And yes, these guys and women have families and responsibilities and things.
Most of them do, yeah.
Most of them do, right? Yeah. But the main object is to play basketball.
It is, but that's a lot of basketball.
82 games.
82 games is fine. So 82 regular season games, okay. I'm talking playoffs. And we have discussed this many times. They're too long.
Too long. Well,
they're too long. 2 weeks to do 7 games.
17 days.
Yeah.
To knock out these 7 games, right?
Yeah.
That's why you told me they should just have one game. Another partner told me that too.
Yes,
he said
sir.
they should just have one championship game, everything on the line for all the marbles and get it over. One game,
neutral site,
right?
One game, like the Super Bowl,
okay,
right? It's one game. It would give every player. It'll put them in a mentality of, okay, I got one game to be the best I can be. Mm-hmm. I can't slack off. No turnover. I can't mess up.
No.
I can't go down.
This is it. Right.
So if they took the first 3 rounds and, do 7 games, whatever. I prefer 5. I remember when they did 5 games.
Best out of 5. Okay.
Yeah, best out of 5.
Yep.
Maybe the first round, whatever. But that final game, they are so tired and exhausted mentally, physically, everything above everything that I don't think they want to play 7 games. They're tired. Play one game, winner take all. Then you're crowned the champion.
So why do you feel like the NBA stretched it for 7 games?
Well, we all know why. It's the money.
It's the money.
It's the dollar bills.
It's the dollar bill.
And they're probably getting paid more. The players are getting paid more as well.
Okay.
To go longer.
Right.
Maybe they're getting paid under the table to go longer. Maybe that's why SGA had 8 turnovers in the first half.
Or it could be the fact. Newsflash, ladies and gentlemen. It could be. I'm bringing them closer.
Go ahead.
To the fact that it's a damn script.
It's
that's
scripted.
why I'm gonna go on and say tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Wait a minute. Damn, I forgot. You wait a minute. Hold on just a minute here. Wait a minute, just 1 second here.
What do we got?
Let me go deep in this pocket here.
Don't go too deep.
No. Don't get excited.
Okay.
Don't get excited.
Okay. Oh, he's pulling the wad out.
Yeah.
Okay. What you got there?
So Drew.
Okay.
Lobato. He know who I'm talking to. Say, G.
He's flashing money.
Say, partner, this is the closest that you gonna get to this $20 bill.
Are we gambling on live right now?
Well, this is something personal.
Is this a $20 bet?
A personal little thing between me and the fella out here. But this is the closest that you're gonna get to this $20 bill right now.
Wait, what's the bet?
Indiana's
gonna win.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's saying,
say that again.
OKC's gonna win.
I just like the way that it rings. Indiana's gonna win. Yeah, Indiana's gonna win. You're damn right. And I said it right here. And you better have this here come Monday, right here.
Hey, just remember. Just remember, Cook said Indiana was gonna win Game 5 too.
So,
they didn't win Game 5. They did win Game 6 though.
He's gonna hold that over my head, but that's okay though. We're gonna straighten that up tonight. It's going to be a complete ghost town, and I can tell you right now, only person that's gonna have any type of conversation with me is LD. What up, Larry? If Indiana wins this game, because you know what it is, everybody's like, I want Indiana to win, but I just don't think that it's possible. Are you serious? Did you not see Game 1? Did you not see Game 6? You can go back and watch at it. They have the capability to win if they come out, play defense, repeat the same formula that they did in Game 6. We can win Game 7.
But it doesn't matter because
Indiana.
It's scripted. It's scripted. So everything he just said about playing defense and playing hard and working hard for your teammates and all this.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
That's all emotional stuff that's just for show, right? That's the entertainment part.
That's the entertainment part.
Right. That's because they're actors that are acting.
Better acting, yes.
In the script, yeah.
Yes.
To make it look like they're teammates and they're all loving each
other.
They're
all into the game. They're
really
giving it. They're leaving it out there on the court. You know what I mean? They're showing emotion and stuff like that. All those things are added into the script.
I call BS.
Why?
It's BS.
Trash.
Because I'm the mind frame of you work hard, you put your tail into something, you're gonna win. Most likely. But if you don't win, you still put in that effort. And that's what life's all about. Putting in effort.
If it's written in the script, for you to win, then you'll win.
So who needs to step up on, let's say, Indiana? Who needs to be the man on Indiana besides Halliburton?
TJ McCollum.
Okay, he stepped up. He stepped up 2 games ago.
Right.
Or last game.
And Game 6. Yeah.
Six.
Yeah. He went stupid. Came off.
Did. So is he going to go stupid again? Because it's hard to go stupid 2 games in a row.
Nah, I think
from a bench player,
he tasted that responsibility. He liked it. He responded to it. He's always up for the challenge. Mm-hmm. So he needs to do that again. Hopefully, it's written in the script for him to. Hopefully, it's written in the script for him to do that again.
Is that
and
why
it'd be amazing?
Is that why it took him so long to do that? It's because he wasn't written until
certain parts of the story, right? Yeah, you don't
scene 6,
Act 6, right? That's when
Act 6.
Act
right?
6 was
That's
TJ.
when it's like, all right, TJ, you're gonna go in and you're gonna blow everybody's mind.
Halliburton's going to take a backseat to you. He gave a respectable contribution to it. We can go over the numbers here in a few seconds. Here from Game 6 to from Game 5 to Game 6. We can look at the numbers right now. But yeah, Halliburton, from what I've heard, he took kind of the backseat. TJ came in, stepped in, and was the man alongside everybody else, Siakam and all the rest of those guys.
Yeah.
So yeah. Indiana again. Indiana for the win.
Who's the better coach?
Ooh. I do like OKC's coach. He got the young guys together. I think at any time when you're trying to, I think is he an older guy?
No, I think I think he's younger. I think he's maybe in the late 30s.
Late 30s. So to get those guys on the same page and to produce what he has produced out of OKC, I got to give him some credit, man. I appreciate him.
I would probably put them both on the same level. I think.
Okay.
I think Indiana's coach, he's got a championship already, so he knows what he has to do as a coach. It just depends on are his players going to respond to his coaching. And so far, they have. I mean, they made it to Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
They shown that they can't get rattled, man. They could lose a game and come back and win a game. They could lose 2 games and come back and win a game, and not get rattled and get shooken from it. They're not shook. I think OKC's more scared in this game than Indiana is.
doubt that.
I guarantee it, man. OKC is scared. It's game 7. They're gonna make
scared.
They're gonna make a whole bunch of mental mistakes. They're gonna come out and try to go too hard. And I think this time versus game 5, Indiana's gonna take advantage of it because they didn't take advantage of those 8 turnovers that Shai had in the first quarter in game 5. They didn't do nothing with the ball. Indiana didn't do nothing with the ball. Yeah. This game, if he does that, they're gonna cash in. They're gonna cash in.
That trophy's going to the Indiana Pacers, according to Coach Cook.
First half. By the first half, they was up by 20 points. By the end of the third quarter, they was up by 30. They took it to 30 points.
The line on the graph, minute by minute, point by point, was spreading apart, right?
Right.
During that game.
During that game. Game 6. Yeah. Crazy. And so let's just make it official. You're saying OKC, right?
I got OKC tonight.
And why? Why OKC?
They're young. Okay. They're ambitious. They got the MVP on their squad. I think they have an overall better all around team. That if all their engines, all the cylinders are firing on that team, they're gonna win by 20.
Whoa!
If the engines are working together.
You're calling a 20-point
a blowout.
You're calling a blowout tonight on a game 7?
Game 7 blowout.
Y'all heard it first here in the lab.
20.
Partner E-Bass is calling a 20-point blowout.
Mm-hmm. They're at home.
I don't see it.
They're at home.
We beat him at home. We beat him the first game at home.
You did.
Yeah, we made the first statement, and now we're going to make the last statement.
Let's
go Indiana. Go ahead and bring up some numbers, man. Talk some numbers, man, for these people.
We don't need numbers.
We don't need numbers? You don't want numbers. You don't want numbers, right?
We don't.
At this point?
It's game 7. It's a boxing match now.
It's a boxing match now, right?
Numbers really don't matter. It's 0-0.
0-0.
This is like that game 1 that I want them to go to. The only game. This is it.
Okay, yeah.
It's like the opposite, Yeah. So this is one game.
One game.
It just took 2 weeks to get to it.
2 weeks to get it. 17 days.
Yeah.
17 days. Yep,
I know. LeBron James said some interesting things over the weekend.
Yeah, he's been talking crazy. He's been talking real reckless. Our spins on this are two completely different thought processes.
It is.
Go ahead, go for it.
Yeah, well, let's just give the quote. So I'm just going to read the quote real quick. It says, "I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport and why it's the end-all, be-all of everything." This is LeBron James speaking. He says, "You told me Allen Iverson, Charles Barkley, and Steve Nash weren't effing unbelievable. They can't be talked about with these guys because they won rings. It's like saying Peyton Manning can't be in the same room with Tom Brady or Mahomes because he only has one ring. He has 2 rings. They don't ever discuss that in their sport of telling me Dan Marino is not the greatest slinger of all time because he didn't win a championship. They don't discuss those things. Barry Bonds never won a World Series, and they can't sit here and tell me that he's not the greatest baseball player to ever touch a bat. Jerry West went to like 9 straight NBA finals and was only able to win 1 ring, and he's the logo of our league. So you can't sit here and tell me, because he only won 1, the guy can't be in the same room with the guy who won 2 or 3 or 4. Like, why not?" Close quote.
Yeah, so
LeBron James.
You agree with him?
I do agree with him. I think that rings, there's a lot of great players in the NBA and the NFL, NHL, wherever, that didn't win a ring. And he gave examples of a couple of them who didn't win rings, but they've set records in the NFL or the NBA or wherever they are. They set records, but they never got to that point of winning rings. So does that make them not great?
No, it doesn't. In my opinion, no, it doesn't make them not great because we talked about it. There's a lot of great players out there that we all enjoyed, especially in my day of basketball. We all appreciated all the other players alongside Jordan. Jordan to me was the cherry on top, but you had so many other players that made the game excitable attractive to watch. You know what I'm saying? It was hard to be dedicated to one team because you had Glenn Robinson over here, you had Derek Coleman over there, you had Larry Hughes over there. I mean, you had Trace McGrady. I can go on and on and on. That made the AI, that made the game exciting.
That never won a championship.
But it made the game attractive, and more people were involved in it versus they are today, I think. But I think somebody sent LeBron to say that. I think they're trying to turn it into. It feels like why rings are important. He's trying to, dilute that. Rings ain't that important. It's just a game. It's just basketball. So I think that's what he was trying to say, but didn't say it. He tried to put a positive twist onto it, but I think he's trying to change the culture of a ring isn't anything or isn't everything.
So what matters most now?
Nowadays?
Yeah.
Everybody's God that they're chasing. That's what matters nowadays.
Which is what?
Didn't I just show you a $20 bill?
Yeah, you got a wad of cash over here.
Quit putting the business in the street. But anyway, that's what y'all God is nowadays because everybody wants the money. Everybody wants to get the money. Somehow, some way, collect the damn bag. That chasing cash and stuff like that. That's their Lord. That's their God.
Yeah.
That's what's important nowadays to them.
Right, because when it was actually important back in, our time, when we were growing up, those guys didn't make millions and millions of dollars.
No, they made some decent money, right? But
they wanted that ring on their finger because that thing was probably worth more than what their salary was for the year that they played.
Regardless of what it was worth, it was I'm a champion.
Right, I'm a champion. Exactly.
I'm a champion.
So I'm going to go home as a champion.
As a champion, I did everything that I possibly could do to get to this point, and I finished, and I won, and you know what I'm saying? I left it all out there on the court and stuff like that. That meant something.
Right, because that ring shows all the dedication, the hard work, the practice that people put into it.
Yes.
But these days, that's a cliche. Isn't that weird that that's a cliche in our world now?
That's what I kind of think LeBron is alluding to,
right?
In some form or some fashion. He's just not saying it that way. He's just, there's a presentation about it a subtle presentation about it that, you know what I'm saying, dilutes that dilutes that conversation that I think that he's saying it's not important to win a ring anymore.
Yeah.
So then you don't have the competition anymore.
Right, because at the end of the day, these guys who are making millions and millions of dollars are going to go home to their mansion,
right? To
their 9 cars, to their, they can go wherever they want, even if they lose, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
So that ring doesn't have the same effect that it used to.
Then that bleeds down all the way down to high school, right? So what's important? Right. What's important to those guys coming up in high school?
Make money. Well, that's why the whole paying players in college, it's going to take away from winning that championship and being putting all the hard work, and they'll probably still put hard work and stuff into winning championship, but it's not going to mean nearly as much as all the money that they have.
No, all the hard work is going to be to get the check, not to get the ring.
Yeah, exactly. Right. The ring's just going to be put on a shelf and forgotten about because it doesn't matter. You're going home and you're making millions of dollars.
Yeah. And
it's crazy.
And so that's what turns me off really about basketball. It's kind of it doesn't have that feel.
It's an indie sport now.
Well, true, yeah.
But primarily basketball
right now.
Because in football, it's one game a week.
Yeah.
You play one game a week. You got 18 games.
Yep.
And then you got a couple playoff games, and then you got a Super Bowl. There's no series.
Nah.
In football.
No.
That's why I like football. Because you really have to work. You have to try hard on that day.
Any given Sunday.
Where's KD going?
I don't know. We were talking about that. Kind of disgusts me because it seems like every other year, a few years, he dominates the market about being traded somewhere, going somewhere, New York, Houston. Wherever he can go in and fit in or be a piece to build around. I think he's too old to be built around, right? KD is 37.
37.
KD's 37.
He's not worth as much.
Not the piece to build around. He could be an addition to any team out there. But if I had to say, where would he go? You said something interesting. You said Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota. I don't think the Minnesota's on the list of places where he could be going.
Who do you have the list?
I do. Yeah, it's Miami,
Okay.
San Antonio, Houston. Those are the three. So of those 3 sites, who do you think would benefit greatest from having this player on their team?
You did say San Antonio, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
I like San Antonio. I think I like San Antonio. Yeah, you got Victor Wemby over there. Is that the guy's name?
do.
Victor Wemby. You put that with Kevin
Can you
Durant
imagine?
and all those little other pieces that are around there. San Antonio would be pretty unstoppable. Like I said, it just pisses me off. I'm tired of seeing great players bounce around from team to team to team. How come a team doesn't get a player, find a player like that, and keep him?
Right.
Keep
Hold
him.
him.
Hold
Keep
him.
him.
Keep
Yeah,
him. Do
just-
whatever you got to do. This is Kevin Durant.
Right. I know. And Kevin Durant, by the way, from what I understand, he's not asking to be traded.
I thought there was talks about it. No, there's.
I think initially there was. I don't think there was no talks of him wanting to be traded. I think they just thought, okay, what can we do now? Because we're not winning anything. It's not panning out like we thought it was going to. Of course, he was injured like the first part of that first year he was here.
Okay.
He got injured for I don't know how many games, but
So what is it about Kevin Durant that makes him hard to be kept?
I don't know.
What do they know that we don't see?
I think it might be Kevin Durant himself. I
So-
think he enjoys going from place to place because he likes that feel of something new.
That freedom.
Yeah, he likes to have something new. He gets paid. You know, he goes to a new place. Mama's proud of him.
Right.
You know, he loves his mom.
He loves his mom. So, okay, maybe that's it. Like I said, a guy like that, you would think a team would want to keep, want to cherish, want to hold on to, and do everything in their power to see teams year after year after year just be willing to let him go. It's kind of a red flag to me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like you're an employer looking for an employee. You're gonna look and see what their history is of their job placements.
Right. Yeah.
And if you're gonna see a job every month, a new job every couple months,
Right.
He's got 8 jobs in 1 year.
Reliability issues right
That's
there.
a red flag.
That's a red flag right there. Shouts out to it is Mental Health Awareness Month, right?
Is it?
I think so.
Okay.
I believe that's in this month, mental health awareness, which is a big movement that's going on. Shouts out to all those places that give somebody opportunity to express themselves, help rediscover, reconstruct the mind, the mental. It's tough out here for a lot of people to deal with these issues that most people keep on the inside. So
We all do.
we all do.
I think we all.
But why? Why do you keep? Why? How come you can't get that off your chest? How come you don't have a comfortable place to be able to talk and be emotional?
I think.
And it'd be okay.
Well, I think it is. Like for me, my favorite place to talk is in my car when I'm driving. I turn the music off
Okay.
and I just kind of pray in a way
All right.
and just talk
Okay.
to God and just
Get
share
some
with him
thing.
everything because he's really the ultimate, in my opinion. He's gonna help you out more than anybody else is.
Okay.
He might send other people to help you out, which is what he does too. But yeah, calling people on the phone, calling somebody on the phone if you need something. But yeah, I think it's more embarrassment. I think that the society is like, you're not supposed to be mentally down. You're supposed to always be positive. You can't have anything wrong with you, and if you have something wrong with you, then you're like a leper or need to go sit in a cave somewhere.
Well, we're against that over here.
We are against that.
We want people to get out and get some help. Talk. Get it off your chest. There's no need. I'm quite sure there's all kind of programs out there underneath every category that you can go and get things off your chest and work things out. It's a real big issue, and I'm campaigning for people to make the right decision in rebuilding themselves if they're suffering.
Free programs too.
Free programs, all kind of programs. You can Google it.
Takes a phone call.
That's all it takes.
That's
and
it,
some
yep.
time. One step. There's all kind of ears out there. There's all kind of solutions out there. You don't have to go through this by yourself.
Amen.
Amen.
That's right. One more quick thing about basketball. So him and I have had a a riff in a way about who the GOAT is
Here we
in
go.
basketball.
Here we
and
go.
I'm just going to come up with a quote from Scottie Pippen himself. Oh, boy. Quote, Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player to ever put on shoes and play in our game, no doubt about it. He says there's no game that I would play in and pick LeBron James over Michael Jordan, not if I'm trying to win. Close quote. That's Scottie Pippen. That is that's Michael Jordan's tag team role player.
So is his opinion biased? That's his partner.
His opinion is it's like if you want to know something about somebody other than the actual individual themselves, you're going to talk to the closest person to them. He was the closest person to them because he knows why Jordan was so great. Because it
was because of him.
It was because of him. It was because of him in a way because he says the reason why he's better than LeBron James is because LeBron James's role has so many different aspects to it.
Right. LeBron was brought in to facilitate.
Yeah, facilitate,
Yes.
Score,
Right.
Rebound,
Yep.
Defense. Like that was what he's supposed to do. Scottie Pippen was saying, I took all that stuff away from Jordan so that he could score and play defense.
Matter of fact, I think I saw that. I got to requote you then because I think he said no.
Requote me. That's what he said.
Well, no, I think he said he's the best scorer in the game. I don't know if he said the best basketball player to ever put on shoes. He's the best scorer.
He's the best scorer as well. This is a direct quote from Scottie Pippen.
Okay.
The best player in the game.
Jordan is
the best scorer in the game.
Jordan is the best scorer.
He is.
In the game. He was money all the time from wherever.
Yep.
In my opinion.
I agreed.
But he was only able to do that because he had Scottie Pippen. He freed him up. Yes.
Yep. Because they know their role. They knew their roles.
So
and that's it.
Is that the difference now from back then? Remember we just talked about that. Back then you had roles. You had point guards, you had shooting forwards, you had power forwards. Now is it safe to say the league is positionless? It's
probably leading toward that.
Why?
Yeah. Why? Unfortunately.
That's so
unfortunately,
trash.
Yeah.
So trash.
But I think if you see, I'm trying to think of all the teams that have won. Well, I mean, Denver Nuggets are the most recent example of a center who likes to shoot threes who won a championship.
Like to shoot threes, like to bring up the ball, like
bring
to
the ball.
facilitate.
He was the point guard.
This
he
is
was
a center that played point guard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Magic Johnson played center too when Kareem was hurt. They won that championship. That
was in time of utility. They asked of him to be able to do this and do this and do this. So then he put all that on his plate and took care of it. Nowadays, the game from jump is from the beginning of the game. Who's the point guard? Well, who's the forward? If everybody's playing everybody's position, there's no difference.
They start off as that. I mean, you see them pass the ball out on the other side and they give it to the point guard most of the time, right? They give it to the point guard, right? It's really the fast break. So, like, say whoever gets the ball, fast break, and they actually give it to the center. He's gonna take it down.
Well, during the fast break, I'm seeing centers. I watched several games where Luka brought up the ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Luka. He's the point guard, though. The eerie silence. He's a point guard.
If you're a big man in the league over a certain height, I don't think you should have nothing to do with the basketball unless it comes to you in a position where you could do something as a big man in the league. Trash.
Yep.
If you're shooting threes, go ahead.
That's the NBA for you.
That's the NBA.
That's the NBA.
Yep. Unfortunately, the IFL, I have no news to report on the IFL yet because the game is not on yet. It should be coming on here at 5 o'clock. That's your Arizona Rattlers going up against the Bay Area Panthers on the road.
And what's going on with them? I know. Why are they stinking it up so bad?
Do I dare say it? Do I dare say if
are you gonna say something like it's written?
I took the words right out of my mouth.
It's written.
You took the words right out of my. Well, no, I ain't gonna say that. I'm giving the benefit of that. I think they just had a bad string of luck. Heads not in the game. Losing their cool. A lot of bad calls. One right after another from the Vegas. Vegas Nighthawks, all the way to Florida Sharks, back to the Tucson Sugar Skulls. You know what I mean? They never bounced back from that loss, from those 3 losses, one right after another. Bad penalties, big mistakes, losing their cool, stuff like that. Everything that could go wrong went wrong in them 3 games. So hopefully, they've learned their lesson and able to get back on the horse and do it again.
I looked up some stats for the season for these guys.
Go for it.
And I was looking at their offense. Their offense as compared to their opponents. All right, this is them compared to their opponent. They win in every category on the offense versus their opponent.
So passing,
right.
rushing
yards, rushing yards.
Okay,
all that, right?
Field goal attempts, all that good stuff.
So I'm scrolling, going down to their turnovers. This is why they lose. So their fumble loss versus opponent, they've lost 16 fumbles versus 6. 16 fumbles, 10 of them lost, versus 6 fumbles, 4 lost with their opponents. That's a 10. That's just fumbles.
That's just fumbles alone.
Fumbles 16. That's a 10
possibility. Yeah.
Swings, right?
Right.
Penalties and yards versus their opponent. So 83 penalties, 731 yards attached to those penalties versus 80 penalties. So roughly about the same.
Okay.
584. That's about 150 yard difference.
That they're giving
penalties.
up. Penalties.
Right. And then penalty yards per game, 66 average yards per game penalties.
Penalties, right. Against the Rattlers.
Wow. Versus 53 yards the other one. So that's a 13-yard difference.
Yep.
Which can mean a lot, especially in the red zone. The field's not very big.
No, touchdown's right there.
It's right there. So that 13 yards is like their red zone.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Is a lot in the IFL. So it sounds like they need to get their stuff together when it comes to turnovers.
They do. Yeah. And penalties
have been plaguing the Rattlers. Because
you mentioned that. That's what you mentioned before. You said their heads is not
in the game. Unsportsmanlike conducts. So it's a whole lot of jawing going on out there on the field that's leading, that's causing potentially a cause to their loss out there. So let's keep our cool today, fellas. Let's stay in the game. Let's stay focused, and let's get back to winning, man. Let's do what we got to do, man. Let's make good decisions with the ball. Let's not fumble, turnover, the rock, anything like that. We need to get back in line.
Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir.
If you were the coach of that team,
I'd be writing all kind of prescriptions, that would help that sickness that is plaguing my Rattlers down over there. Well, they're not in the snake pit. They're on the road right now.
They are, yeah. They're in the Bay Area.
They are in the Bay Area.
No distractions in the
Hopefully,
Bay Area.
we will be getting some news during that game from Agent Reese. Shout out to Reese. Boom, always on the case, letting us know what's going on with the game. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned.
So we're going to update it a little bit with the WNBA. We got the Phoenix Mercury. They are in 3rd place.
Go Phoenix Mercury. Anybody on the chat? Anybody checked in? Anybody hollering at us today?
The chat is a little...
it's empty right now.
It's not... I don't know. It's saying something has gone wrong. So that chat, if you guys are trying to chat, I don't see anything over here. I see a monkey with a wrench saying something's wrong.
Something's wrong. We technical difficulties over here, ladies and gentlemen.
We've been having some technical difficulties over the last few episodes.
Right.
So
yeah.
We're working those kinks out. We're amateurs over here, and none of us know technology very well, so we got to reach out to our friends and figure this out. But we will get it figured out. Don't you worry about that. Anybody
out there that's trying to get a hold to us, that's saying something to us, and we're not responding, please forgive us. That's the issue.
That's the issue.
Mercury.
Yes, Mercury. They're at 11-5. They're on a 5-game win streak. And guess who they got next?
The Fever.
Yes.
They got your girl. They're going up against your girl.
Sorry. It's Liberty.
New York Liberty.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're a couple games ahead of them. The Liberty are, but they're led by some of these names. Some of these names are pretty
exotic.
Awesome. Exotic.
You like that?
Unique. Different.
Give us a taste.
So Phoenix Mercury, they're led by Satou Sabali. I think that's how you pronounce it. No idea. She's 19 points a game, 8 rebounds a game.
Sound like a center.
She is.
Is she tall?
I believe she's a forward or a center. I think she's like 6'5".
Okay. All right.
6'4".
Respectable.
Yeah,
all right.
Tall. She's taller than us.
Okay.
What are you, 6'4"?
I used to be 6'5" until my surgery. They took off a couple inches out of my knee, some cartilage.
Oh boy!
So I shrunk up a little
couple
bit.
Inches out of your knee.
Well, I mean,
how big was your knee?
No, it looked like a watermelon when it exploded, man. But anyway,
that's why he's not in the NBA.
That's why. There's a couple reasons why I'm not in the NBA. Anyway, go ahead, man.
But yeah, Mercury. So they're doing great. They just beat up on Angel Reese's team badly on the 27th, or sorry, on the 21st. They played Angel Reese. That's this guy. They scored 17 3-pointers in that game. 17 3-pointers.
They were just jacking up shots all over the place.
They were just shooting. Huh? Yep. So I've been watching a lot of WNBA lately.
Yeah.
I watched the Seattle Storm.
And why have you been watching the WNBA? Watch this here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me show you the correlation. Go for it.
Because it's just fun, sound basketball.
That's a load of crap. It's because of Caitlin Clark. You're watching basketball. WNBA because of the CC effect.
I mean, she did draw me to it because I love talent, though. I love to watch talent. She's talented.
She's problematic. She's drama.
Doing so has brought me to really love these women that are playing these games because they're really good. Seattle Storm, they're led by Skylar Diggins, the point guard. She's got 19 points a game.
Beast.
Look at this game. Listen to this. See if I can get this one right.
Go for it.
Nika Agumike.
Okay.
She's on the Seattle Storm. She's averaging 18 points a game.
All right.
She's doing really, really well. They actually just played the Aces, which I think was the first game Asia Wilson was back from her concussion protocol. She didn't have the greatest game. She scored 20 points. She had 7 turnovers.
That's still respectable.
Yeah, but 7 turnovers. So she was a little upset about that and losing. But she is so fun to watch, though. She can move. Her little going in, she's left-handed. She goes in with her left hand. She does a spin move in the key, and she goes up, and it's just a thing of beauty, I think.
So
I love watching that.
So the CC brought you to the game, but then as you got further and did more research about the WNBA, you found other things to like and enjoy.
I have, yeah,
and appreciate.
And but the thing is that I've watched a little bit of the WNBA when it first started. Like, of course, we know the Lisa Leslies, the Cheryl Swoops.
Yeah.
Like, those were good basketball players.
Ballers.
That really stemmed up to, that's who Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese's and all these girls looked up to when they were
coming up,
little kids, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So for them to see them, for Lisa Leslie's, I know Lisa loves Caitlin Clark. She thinks that she's great for the game, and Cheryl Swoops, I don't know how she feels about it, but there's some other, there's some talk about, we don't have a lot of time to talk about that part of the game, so we won't. But
we won't go there.
All-Star voting is underway right now.
Angel Reese has my vote.
Angel Reese has Cook's vote.
I'm voting for you. Wow.
And my vote. I did vote for her because I think she's a good player. I think she's good.
You always talk about her. You say she's trash.
I do talk about her. I think she's not a very great player, but she tries hard.
Okay.
She tries hard, and she's she's the second youngest to get a triple-double in the WNBA.
The second youngest to get a triple-double in the WNBA.
Correct.
That's
fast
big.
As she did. It is big, yeah.
That's very big.
So, and she's
so what record did CC break yet? Has she broken any records yet?
She broke all the records when she was a rookie.
Well,
she can't break any more records.
Oh, well, yeah.
She's got.
She's doing her thing. Okay, I'm voting for, again. Y'all know Coach Cook is for the small market, for the underdog. So I'm in Reese's campaign in her corner. I'm waiting for her to blow up. She's gonna blow up once she comes together.
I hope she does, man. I really do, because she has so much energy and fire to her game that if she just backed it up a little bit,
refocused it in other directions, she would probably be a beast out there. She will be sooner or later. It has to happen.
The Fever are playing the Aces tonight, actually. So Caitlin Clark playing Asia Wilson.
We got the Fever tonight.
Actually, I think they've already played.
We got OKC.
OKC.
Let me hold that thought. We got OKC tonight, and then and we have the Rattlers tonight.
We do have the Rattlers.
Any baseball going on tonight? It's a big Sunday night tonight.
You know what? there actually was some baseball on yesterday. The smaller market, the NCAA men's baseball game.
I did
World
see a little
Series,
bit of that. Okay.
The World Series, yeah.
Wow. All right.
LSU
That's
playing Coastal Carolina.
And where are we at in that series?
It's one game. LSU just won their first game yesterday.
Okay.
It's 2 out of 3.
Sure. Okay.
So LSU just has to win the next game to win the championship. So Coastal Carolina has to win.
It's a wrap. Do you know a lot about that? You've been paying
no.
attention to it? No. Okay.
I don't know a lot about it. All I know is it is a long tournament. It's like Wimbledon. Like they start a month ago, and they're finally getting to it. It's a double elimination tournament. I know that, but they're finally getting to the end. This is it. Last 2 teams.
So that whole tournament goes on for about, how long did you say? 30 days, a month? For a long time.
Forever.
So why am I complaining about 17 days for a basketball game?
I don't know.
When baseball so
because
long?
that's one basketball game. This is a tournament.
Okay, there's a difference. There you go. All right.
Because the NBA playoffs, they started, 2 months ago?
2 months ago, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, so they're going on Major League Baseball. Giants, my Giants, they picked up Rafael Devers from Boston, who's a hitter.
Okay.
So they gave up a couple pitchers to get some bats going for the Giants, and they actually, ironically, they just played the Boston Red Sox yesterday. I think they won yesterday. They lost the day before, so they are, they're still, I think, 3 games back from the Dodgers.
Okay.
Diamondbacks are right around there as well. They're doing their thing.
And where's those Colorado? Let's talk about those Colorado Rockies, man. Put it somewhere. They done moved up, didn't they? They've been on another win streak, swinging a big stick, haven't they?
Actually, they have it on the win streak, yeah.
Come on, man. Talk about them, man.
Yeah, so
Go Colorado.
Colorado, they are they're still in last place. They're still in last place. 29 games out of first. That's bad. Bad news. But they do have 18 wins. Do you remember how many wins they had the last time we talked about them?
Last time we talked about, I don't think we talked about them the last show. I think it was the show before.
Was it the show before?
It was the show before, yeah.
When I had it was last show when I had my mask, when I had my bag over my head.
That was the game that was the show that you lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. San Francisco lost anyway. Excuse me.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was the last game that they won 13 games at that point.
From that
that was their 13th win when they beat the Giants.
Okay, go ahead.
So now, guess how many games they've won
since then?
That
was maybe 5.
Yeah, you're right on.
Maybe 5.
5. No, maybe it was 5.
It was 5 games.
5 games. They have 18 wins right now.
18 wins.
Yeah, they have 18 wins. In fact,
Uh-oh.
breaking news from yesterday. I didn't know this.
Wake up.
They've been playing the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks won the first 2.
Yeah.
Colorado won the 3rd. Yes, sir.
So here's the prescription. It is never over until it's over. You got to keep fighting, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to look bleak. Mm-hmm. It's going to look rough. It's going to feel that way too, but you got to keep fighting, and Colorado's is going to keep fighting.
And just looking at their wins losses here, their schedule. So they beat the Marlins. They swept the Marlins back in March or whenever it was. They swept the Marlins. They beat the Giants in that one game. They swept the Nationals. Oh no, they didn't sweep. They won the series versus the Nationals.
Right. Yep.
Which is they're a good team. They beat the Braves once, and now they beat the Diamondbacks. So it looks like they're winning every other game, third or fourth game. Now maybe they're getting their bats going.
They have to repeat the formula. Just like Indiana too. They have to repeat the same formula that they did in the last game to win the next game. And you keep stacking days. That's how you create wins. You keep doing the same thing that you did before. You don't change anything. You just enhance what you brought to the last game to the new game.
That would be fantastic if that could happen.
If that could happen. If that could happen. So where you at? What you got?
What we got next?
What do you want to talk about? You said yay or nay. I saw that on the script.
We did do a little yay or nay. You want to do some yay or nay?
Let's do some yay or nay. We're winding down.
Okay.
Getting ready for the game.
Actually, there's another topic. Okay, I'll do one yay or nay with you.
Go for it.
We'll do one yay or nay, and then we'll talk about some other fun things that are going on.
We got some other fun things to talk about.
So, yay or nay?
Go for it.
Should officiating have their own press conference after the game?
In my opinion, no, because I don't watch the game to watch the officiating. Do I get bothered by some of the calls that happen? Yes. Do I say, you know what I mean? Do I'm quick to say bullshit when I see some of the bad calls and tacky calls and stuff like that? But I don't want to hear them talk about the bad decisions they possibly made. What do they need to? What do we need to hear from them for?
Do you want? For me, I would love to get an explanation of why you missed that call. There's some calls out there that are so ticky-tacky at critical moments in the game. In the NFL, MLB, some strike calls.
Right.
Angel Hernandez, you know who Angel Hernandez is? One of the worst umpires in Major League Baseball. Like, I would love to get them to be held accountable, and that's what it is.
Okay.
Be held accountable for the terrible call that they made, and just want to know, why did you make that call?
Well, because they'll be safe, first of all, because let's just use my facility. Certain calls get made to kick a certain driver out at a certain time, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Boom, 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 boom. I need this driver to go, and it might be before a driver that has more seniority. Follow me, right? That the driver underneath him gets kicked out, and you know what the company uses that saves them? And I'm going somewhere with it. They'll say hub discretion. They'll say hub discretion. The reason why you got kicked out, you got offered that run before somebody with more seniority gets that run. The referees would be saved in that same format. They would have some type of terminology that they would use if you asked one of those questions. Well, it was something discretion that I did make that call or that I did make that call. They have to. It's something in the protocol that would save them, and they would always use.
No doubt about it.
Right.
No doubt about it.
Right.
Well, it's just the same with coaches too. Or players,
right?
Like,
so
why did you pass that ball? Why didn't you take that last shot?
So you can't.
And they're gonna do exactly that.
Right.
They're gonna fall back and go, well, it's just what I.
Whatever the company guidelines are, they'll be able to jargon that they use.
Right, they'll use the verbiage.
Yes, the verbiage.
That gets them out. But wouldn't it be great to just see them sweating?
No.
And just be like, hey,
get up out of here, trash.
Tell us you have. So I would propose get them up on stand. Say two coaches, or the coach from each team can ask 3 questions on 3 different plays that they think was questionable to get an answer. Because, they can't. They try to answer it in the game, right? They're like talking to him between the plays.
Right. Why you call that? Why didn't you call that?
Right. And then they're like, sorry, I got to work right now. We'll talk later.
So
then that'd be the opportunity to talk later.
I think it'd be a waste of time because they bullshit you most of the time.
They might bullshit you, but
What would they tell you? They couldn't tell you. I made a call. I didn't see it. It is what it is, and we can't go back on it. But
I think you get because the officiating. Let's be honest, they can call a game. Like they can
change the outcome of the game. Yes,
absolutely, right?
Yes, they can.
So let's ask them. Why did you make that call at that time? What was going through your mind?
Okay, all right.
Just ask them.
I don't think it'll get you anywhere.
It might not.
They'll tap dance around that whole question, especially if it was an epic call or it was a call that cost somebody losing the championship game.
There was that one call in Major League Baseball. I see the face of both of them. I can't remember the names of the umpire that made the call and the pitcher who had a perfect game all the way to the 9th inning, 2 outs. All he needed was to get the 3rd out. The 3rd out came with a blooper to the pitcher.
Okay.
Or no, sorry, blooper to, I think, the first baseman. The pitcher went over to the first base to cover.
Right.
The guy tossed him the ball, caught it. He looked down, tagged the base before the runner. It was so close, though.
Right.
Before the runner, and the umpire called him safe. Now,
go for it.
The umpire, after realizing what he did, apologized for what he did because he knew that it was wrong. Everyone knew it was wrong.
Okay.
And it was obvious that he got there first, but he manned up and he apologized for it. But the cool part about it is the pitcher. He didn't make a stink. You should have seen his face. You got to look it up. He didn't make a stink. He smiled. He smiled at the official. No, you know how when you smile, like you're right, and you're just gonna smile like
kind of a smirk or
a smirk, you got it wrong, but I'm just gonna smile just so I don't punch you in the face.
So Anybody out there that knows that game, that knows that team, that knows that empire, if y'all can get that information.
Detroit Tigers. It was the Detroit Tigers.
Well, I was gonna give out a free shirt if somebody it's a little trivia. I was giving them a little trivia. If anybody
I'm just helping them out. Give us the name.
Why are you on their side?
Give us the name.
You're on our side. You're on this side of the camera. If you can come up with the name of that game, the opponent that they played, even the referee, there is a Sports Lab podcast shirt in it for you. There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
The merch.
That's right. Don't Google that information either. I need some information off the top of y'all head out there for y'all true baseball lovers, because somebody knows that game.
They should.
You should.
I do. I can see it in my face. I can see it.
What do you see?
I see the play. I just can't remember the name.
Can't remember the name.
No.
A logo, a stadium.
Well, yeah, it's Detroit Tigers.
Oh, who are they playing?
That's a good question.
That's a great question. You don't remember.
But the umpire had a beard. He's got a nice beard. He's very well known. He's very well respected, too. That's why I think that they didn't have a big stink about it, because he was very respectable umpire in the game, and he just made the worst call that he could possibly make at that time.
So up to that point, none of the calls that he made was questionable.
Nah, he was one of those. And then after the game, he went up and apologized to him. He's like, I'm sorry, man. I cost you that. He got emotional. He started tearing
he started
up.
crying.
Yeah.
Was the pressure on him to make that call? That's why he felt so bad.
It's got to be, right? I mean, can you imagine within inches of a perfect game?
Right.
And he called the call. So why can't we go back in time and look at video evidence? Because that's what they do in the game. Why can't we do it after the game and check some of those calls that might have significant relevance to the game itself?
It wouldn't change the outcome of the game, right?
It would just change the outcome of the game.
It would change the outcome of the game if some of those calls were questioned and reevaluated.
Yeah, why not? If they got it wrong and that official, the call, if they got it wrong, affected the outcome of the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why not?
Wow.
They do it in the middle of the game. They stop games.
Stop
look at the thing. Okay, let's see. Is there a foul? Yeah, there's a foul.
Was that a hold, or was that a passing interference or something like that?
They don't quite do it very much in the NFL yet, but in the NBA, this stopped like every 5 minutes. Let's stop and look at this flagrant foul.
So you want to question the referees. You want to have a segment where the referees can stand up for some of the calls that they made, answer for some of the decisions that they made out there on the basketball court. Let's go for it.
That's right.
I don't want to see it. Don't waste my time. I really want to watch the game, to tell you the truth.
Well,
and you know what?
You don't watch the game, the post game.
You know what? No, I don't watch the pregame and postgame. This is how confident I am.
Watch the game.
I'm not even watching the game tonight. I'm not watching the game tonight. I'm so sold on the fact.
I'll be texting you.
Indiana is going to come through and handle their business like it's written out to be.
I'll text you.
I don't even have to watch the game, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all come tell me what's happening, man. I ain't watching the game. Go for it. What else we got going on the script?
Oh, man. All right. So, real quick.
We're
kind of running low on time, but
who cares? We can run it all night.
So, which topic do I want to do? Let's do culture. Culture has been on my mind.
Why has it been on your mind
for the last little time? I hear culture from these sports guys on ESPN talk about culture. Culture
in general. What do you
sports
mean?
Culture.
Sports
culture.
Okay.
Right. So we know that different cities have their culture, sports culture, right?
Right.
So would you rather go to a culture that's big culture like New York, LA, Miami?
As far as a player's perspective, like if I was a player, where would I
want to go? Right.
Right.
If you're a player, would you rather go to one of those that's like big city type of thing, big market, big, celebrities go, or would you rather go to a culture that wins? That's a small culture. That's a smaller market.
What kind of player am I?
You're a basketball player.
No, I'm saying from what era?
Oh, from what era?
Whatever. Okay.
Right now, currently.
Oh, well then I want to go where it's popping.
What's popping?
Where it's popping.
Okay. Like
where I'm gonna make the most money. If I'm a player, then I'm gonna either go. If I'm a basketball player, a pretty dope basketball player coming into today's game, I would want to go to either LA or New York.
Mm-hmm.
Just that simple.
That's it.
That's it. Those are the markets where you want to go. You want to shine. Other deals can possibly happen being in those couple markets and stuff like that. If I'm a nowadays player, if I'm from back in the days, then I wouldn't go nowhere near New York or LA.
Why?
I wouldn't want to. I don't want. It's not
Distraction?
my city.
Distraction?
Nah, I'm not. I'm not feeling Hollywood, and I don't need to go to a city of big dreams.
Yeah.
Not my thing.
So some cultures that I've sports cultures that I'm thinking of that don't win, but they're still so into the fan base are so into their sports.
New York
Knicks.
Yeah.
Right. That's one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Why?
All the mystique around New York, around the Garden.
That's all it is.
And everything that has transpired in New York, from all the boroughs, from all the music. It's just New York is a place, a city, a state that's enriched with a lot of flavor. And I think it's just exciting for a lot of people to go there and try to make a name for themselves in New York.
What in your mind? What do you think is more enticing, New York or L.A.?
Probably L.A.
L.A.
You have the, yeah, I would say L.A.
Because you got the beaches.
You got the stars. Everybody want to be next to the stars, even though you are a star in your own right too. But you know, Hollywood.
They have more stars in L.A. than they do New York.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I don't hang around with none of them. But I'm just saying, you probably have a better chance at doing something in a career that you might have, especially in LA. You might want to be in the movies. You want to be in podcasts. Look at all these players nowadays, all these ex-players. What are they doing right now? They're right here on YouTube. They're right down the street from us, blowing up because they got a bigger fan base. You know what I'm saying? Doing their thing. So everybody wants to be in front of the camera. So that happens in Hollywood.
So speaking of LA, big news in the NBA world: Los Angeles Lakers have been sold.
Sold. $10 billion. 10 billion.
B with a B.
Capital B.
To Mark Walter, who owns currently the Dodgers. So now he's got the Dodgers and the Lakers sold by the Buss family.
Okay.
They bought it in 1979 for $67 million.
That's one hell of a profit.
That's huge.
That's crazy.
So
you said 67 million?
67 with an M.
And then sold it with a B.
With a B. 10 billion.
10 bill. Why? Why'd they sell?
I don't know. Maybe it was just time. If you've seen the documentary on that whole thing, it's on Netflix, I think, or Amazon.
It's intriguing.
It's really intriguing. It starts, from the beginning of when the Buss family took over, the Forum, like that's okay. Tired. we're getting to the end of the show.
Right. No, we're doing fine.
But the history behind Los Angeles Lakers is that, and Boston the same. You gotta watch the documentary on those two teams. It's amazing. I mean, they had the highest transaction in the NBA currently is 10 billion. The Celtics sold themselves a few years ago, I think, for 6.1 billion.
Wow.
So. But it's going up.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do in business? When you create a market, you create something, you build it up to only sell it for more than what you pay for.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, right? Everyone gets old. Jerry Buss, I think it's Jerry Buss. I always forget his first name, but Mr. Buss. He died, right, a few years ago, and his family took over, and Jeannie's on there right now. She's going to stay with the team to do her president of basketball operations with the Lakers, so she's still going to be there. But the majority is going to go towards Mark.
Is the sale of LA have something to do with? Is that a early indication that LeBron might not be there next year? Is that why they got rid of that?
That's what I wanted to ask you. How is that going to change the culture of the Los Angeles Lakers over the last 40 years? Because remember, Buss began Showtime. He had Kobe. Right, they won 11 national championships.
I guess it's going to affect. It'll affect. It depends on what generation you're from. If you're from our generation that saw a lot of that or was a part of that, or even the generation before us that that grew up with them, you would be affected by it. But I don't.
I think it's going to change big time. It's going to change to today's world.
Okay.
It's going to change
To what? For the worse?
don't know.
So,
I mean, it's. Are they going to keep it the same? Like, are they going to keep bringing in players like the buses brought in for the last 40 years, 46 years?
is he the type of person that's willing to pay that type of money for some of these players that would have big names?
I don't know, but I don't.
Did he do it with the Dodgers?
Me personally, I think he did. He did. He brought the Dodgers. The Dodgers have always really been good. They've had a lot of money. Magic Johnson's over there. They do bring in some big name players, but I don't know.
Did you think Magic Johnson had something to do with that trade? Is he in on that too? Did he get a little taste of that?
I didn't see that. He probably did.
Since he's a partial owner over there with them, do you think he had something to do with he might be a little partial owner with the
Probably did.
Yeah,
I would imagine. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So big news. It's gonna be fun. Not fun. It's gonna be interesting to see what
how the culture gets changed.
Yeah, I think it's gonna change. I do.
And you're saying from the worst, is it going to change for the worst
I think they're gonna
for the
steer
better?
away. I think they might steer away from how it was. I mean, I don't think there's gonna be Showtime anymore. I think it's gonna be just. I don't know. I think it's just gonna be how much money are they willing to pay the big name players to come to them, and that's what it's going to be like.
And the Lakers have been known to be willing to pay some good money. LeBron made some good money off LA, didn't he?
I think so, yeah. I don't think Magic Johnson did, though.
Well, he's sitting pretty. He probably a little owner of it. Yeah. He made the sacrifice. He made the money in the long run.
He did.
Go ahead, Magic Johnson.
Yeah. So that's it.
What we will talk about come next Sunday. Let's give them a little recap and get up out of here. Because you got to go. You got things to do. You got to go talk to your daughter.
I do. Yeah.
You got to go talk to your daughter.
Yeah.
All right, give me something to eat. We got to get out of here.
Yeah, we're hungry. He's tired. He's got to take a nap.
Yeah, take a little nap. Oh, you got to take a nap. So we're going to talk about the win next week. Right now, I'm saying that we're going to recap this win that's going to happen here in a few hours.
Right. The IFL. They play today too, right?
Yeah,
the
IFL.
NBA playoffs.
We'll recap the IFL, yes, sir.
Talk a little baseball.
Talk a little baseball.
What if LeBron James says anything crazy again?
Trying to steer us away from basketball. I think he's a distraction. Anyway, we'll talk more about that Phoenix Mercury right there. Highlight them ladies over there balling. Positive message. Let's love. Let's be compassionate. Let's be understanding. Let's be willing to be an ear to somebody out there that possibly might need one, ladies and gentlemen. It's very important.
Just a smile and say hi. That's it.
Hello. How you doing?
That's right.
Care.
And with that, we see you next time.